Welcome to a Community Partners interview, where we explore the organizations, opportunities, and resources that look to make change in our daily lives. I'm your host, Nafisah Anif, and you're listening to Voices for Ability Radio, all abilities, all the time. Today I'm joined by Denise Tremblett, the Executive Director of Mary Center. Mary Center strives to meet the changing needs of people with a developmental disability by providing a variety of residential and community connection support services in the Greater Toronto Area, Peel, and York regions. They welcome people of all faiths while reflecting Catholic values. People with developmental disabilities are vital and integral members of their community life. At Mary Center, they believe that focusing on the gifts and contributions of those who have a developmental disability enriches the lives of everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today, Denise.
Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. So tell us a little more about you and what inspired you to work at Mary Center and why work with individuals with disabilities.
I'd be happy to. Thanks for asking. So about myself, when I was kind of in high school, I had friends who had developmental disabilities, and we went to school together. We went to church together. We also, participated in the community events within the town that I lived. And I remember being approached by a special education teacher, asking me if I was interested in tutoring, which I gladly accepted at that time. So a lot of my time after school was spent tutoring my friends and some other people. And prior to finishing high school, I knew I wanted to spend my life's work and my career helping to make a difference in the lives of other people in the community in which I may be living at that time. So right after high school, I actually went in to the seminary to study to be an ordained minister with the Salvation Army. And I spent the first part of my career and ministry working with young pregnant teens. So my desire for the ministry at that time is I wanted to be a chaplain within the hospital. And once I left the ministry, I had a goal to continue to pursue the chaplaincy studies. However, I needed a job at that time. So I saw a posting actually in the Toronto Star from Mary Center, and they were advertising for a residential counselor. So I applied for the job and I got the job, and now it's 33 years later and I'm still with the organization. I fell in love with the field of developmental disabilities, and my focus ended up changing from chaplaincy. And while I was working full-time, I also went back to university and obtained my undergraduate degree in business administration, and then a master's in education, focusing on special education. So I continued to work with Mary Center, and I continued my professional growth and development, which has brought me now to my newest role as the executive director. So what really inspired me to work and continue working with Mary Center was the fact that Mary Center is a faith-based organization, and I was drawn to their mission, vision, and values. And as a community-based organization that was providing supports to enhance the quality of life for people with developmental disabilities and their families, for myself, I saw a new ministry developing and a way to help others create an engaging life, and also to have a life that was filled with integrity, and we were able to show them respect, compassion, and make sure people are included within their community. So that was very important to me. And as one of our logos says, we want to help people continue to build a good life and create some new opportunities for people with developmental disabilities, helping them to work towards their own self-confidence and personal independence, so that they can become contributing members to their society and their community. So that's kind of what drew me to the organization, and that's why I've stayed, because I find it very rewarding, and it's a privilege and an honor every day to wake up and to come to work to help others build a good life and be part of that transformation that's happening within their lives.
That's truly an amazing story. Thank you so much for sharing that. It really has been a journey for
Yes, it
you
has.
by the sounds of it. Wow, amazing. So, how did Mary Center actually get its
So,
start?
Mary Center started back in 1988, and it comprised of a group of families coming together from Catholic parishes who had adult children living at home, and they really didn't have any resources for their loved ones. And they didn't, and they wanted to plan for their futures, knowing that the parents were aging themselves. So they were able to engage the parish preach and also Catholic Charities. And that's how we got started with Mary Center. So it was just families coming together, needing, knowing that there was a need out there, and Catholic Charities working with them because we are a member of Catholic Charities. So we were able to build the Mary Center. And in 1989, we opened our first house. Mm-hmm.
1989. Wow, that's amazing. And are you still at that location today?
Yes, the house is still at that location. And then about a year later, a month apart from each other, we opened two more homes. So that was quite busy at that time, opening two homes within a week of each other.
Wow,
Hmm.
that's amazing. And all three are still operational.
Yes, yes. And since then, we've grown to have three more community group living sites in Peel. And we also have one in York Region. So we've expanded
Wow,
in that area.
that's amazing. Yeah. While doing my research for today's interview, I saw that you have a couple services that you offer. Can you tell us a little bit more about those services?
Certainly. So as I just mentioned, we do have our community group living sites, and those sites we have between 4 to 6 people who live within those homes. And how people get access to those homes would be through the Developmental Services Ontario, because we are funded by the Ministry of Children and Community and Social Services. We get funding for those locations. So we do go through the DSO in order to fill the vacancies that we would have there. So within our homes, they're designed to meet the diverse needs of people who live there. And most of our homes are wheelchair accessible. That includes such special features as lifts. We have grab bars. We have accessible washrooms. So we really cater to make sure that we meet the mobility needs of people who live within the home. And then we also facilitate activities during the day, such as community education, looking for employment for people who would want to seek employment, and certainly a focus as well on social and recreational activities. Also within our community housing program, we also have supported independent living uh, apartments. So we're supporting people throughout Toronto and Peel and York Region who are living in their own apartments, and we're helping them to make sure that they are contributing members of society, they're participating in the activities that they want, and they have anywhere from 2 to 20 hours of support per week for helping them. They would have a staff come in to help them with any needs that they may need assistance with. And we want to make sure also that they're living in very comfortable and safe apartments in the community. So that's our community housing. And then we have a program that's called Community Connections. And within this program, because Mary Center originally started, as I was saying earlier, we were focused more on adults that were 55 and over, so looking at the senior population. And we've grown since then. Anyone 18 and over can access our services. With regards to our community connections, we have two types. So we have elder individual connections, and that's for people who are 55 and older. And for adults who have an interest in meeting new people, we offer networking services, which include group gatherings that they have, small networks of people who meet weekly, join together to participate in activities. And also they're given the opportunity to learn important social, communicational, cultural or educational or vocational skills that they can transition into community experiences for themselves. And then also part of the Community Connections program, we have what's called adult individual community connections, which we are supporting people who are 54 and younger. And in that service, we're matching people up one-to-one with workers in the community. And they're basically looking at things that are of interest to the person who wants the service. And then they will go out and they'll utilize community resources such as public libraries, recreational centers, senior centers, schools, parks, participating in special events. So it's really focused and geared to what the person themselves want. So that's our community group living and our community connections. The another program that we have is called our out-of-home respite program. And that program is set up where we have we rent a space and we provide 24-hour service to families who are looking for a little bit of a reprieve and may sometimes want to go on vacation, but have no one to be able to support their loved one who lives at home with them. So we have this 24-hour service that's provided 7 days a week, and families can book in time to come to our respite program. And in this program, we're going to focus again on life skills, helping them with life skills. They may participate in cooking, and also at that program, we have a day program that operates out of the same location. So anyone coming to our respite program can participate in the day program that's happening. And then, as I mentioned, the day programs, we have the day program in Toronto, and we also have a day program in Peel that families and access and use. And they use, a lot of families use their passport money that they get from the ministry to be able to purchase the services in those day programs.
Oh, that's amazing. Wow.
We're very busy.
And I also...
Oh, sorry. We're very busy.
You sound very busy, for sure.
Yes. Yes.
Well, that's good. That it's good to be busy, and it's good to be busy, in service of others.
Absolutely.
Or serving others.
Absolutely. It's an honor.
That's the best kind of busyness you can actually find.
Mm-hmm.
So I also saw that you have a resource section on your website. What goes into the resource section?
So in the resource section on our website, we have the executive director's report. So I would do a report every now and then and post it on the website. And I just recently did one a few days ago. That's been posted as of yesterday. Also under that, we put information around infection prevention and control, because we know that the season right now is a very heavy respiratory illness season. So we put some information in there for both our employees, the people we support, families, and the general population that they can look at that information. We have information around vaccines and the importance of vaccination. And we include our annual reports under that section as well. And we also post our, in keeping up to date with the AODA multi-year plan that's required of organizations. So that's posted under there. And we keep also posted under there information about our history, because we don't want that to get lost.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Are there any restrictions to the services at Mary's Center, such as age, caregivers, or family members only, things of that nature?
The only restriction that we have is that a person, number one, would need to have a developmental disability to access our services, and they must be 18 and over to access our service. But outside of that, there are no other restrictions.
Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you for that. And without using any names, can you share a success story with me? What supports were put into place when someone asked for help?
So a recent story we've had over the last little while is one of an interesting project that we had started working on is working with young women who have a developmental disability and who are parents. So they have children. So we were able to, with the help of the ministry, get some funding and be able to put in place with that person helping them find an apartment to live in, also to get some direct support professionals who can come in and assist them, helping them set up the apartment, helping them to arrange their day, helping them to look for daycare, helping them look at any kind of needs for their child, helping them, now get into school. So that's been a really success story, and it's something that we just recently started doing a number of years ago. And for me, that came because I had such an interest in when I was a minister, that I was working with young women who were parents, and I saw at that time as well, when that was happening, that there was nowhere for them to go. So a lot of them, their children usually ended up being apprehended by the Children's Aid Society, but what I found was that not a lot of opportunity was given. So we can see that today now there's opportunity given for them to become parents, and we help them, find parenting classes that they can join. So that's been a real success for us for the last couple of years.
There are certainly a lot of stigma and a lot of stereotypes associated when someone hears that a parent has a developmental disability.
Absolutely, and we want to engage the community to let them to get rid of that stigma and work towards that, because it's they become wonderful parents. I've seen it.
They sure do. Mm-hmm. And it's it's something that can be it's a very rewarding initiative, this project that the Mary Center is doing, because there definitely needs to be something to dispel those out there, and there really isn't a lot at the moment, if any.
That's true. And we want to do our part to help.
And of course. What is the one thing you see happening over and over again to individuals with disabilities that shouldn't be happening, and how do we stop it?
So the thing I'm seeing is the struggle to find housing. It's a big issue, and I know it's a bigger issue, broader issue with regards to all of society and within Toronto and even outside of Toronto. It's finding housing that's affordable for people. That really is a big gap in our service, and I think that not Mary Center in itself, its service, but just service general in the community. Mm-hmm. And we have to get better at that. And I know there are projects out there which are trying to. It's just difficult when someone who's on Ontario Disability Support Plan. It's very minimal that they get for rent, and trying to find an apartment, in that with that amount of money is nearly impossible. So without sort of the rent secured income and some support and subsidy for people with developmental disabilities, it's going to continue to be a struggle. So I think a lot of work needs to be put into that. And I know there is some work that is being done with the sector, and we're trying to work with developers and to be able to get apartments, working with the city to be able to get the rent subsidies. But it's a long haul. It's
a very long haul, and housing is one of these things that is always talked about, always having efforts made to try and ease the problem, but it seems to be getting worse.
Yes, I agree with you there. It seems to be.
And it's really very unfortunate that, especially in this day and age, in the 21st century, with all the technological advancements that we do have out there these days, that housing is still a problem. It's still an issue where if you end up taking one step forward, you actually have ended up walking about 5 steps back.
You're absolutely right. Yes. And that's very frustrating. Very frustrating. And I'm sure it's very frustrating for families. They struggle. Yeah. They struggle every day.
Yeah. And even for the individuals with disabilities themselves, it truly is frustrating to be on the receiving end of that, the lack of housing support, the lack of housing itself, never mind the support that goes with it.
Yes.
But it's a very hard position to be in, for sure.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Are there any events coming up for the Mary Center?
We currently don't have any events scheduled in this year. The board of directors is beginning to look at some fundraising initiatives that we will look forward to in the new year. Uh, However, right at this moment, we don't have any events that are planned
Hmm, okay.
outside of the celebration of the holidays coming up.
That was my next question.
Yeah,
Oh, that's great. Everyone needs a little bit of holiday cheer once in a while.
absolutely, absolutely.
And if someone wanted to become a member or volunteer with Mary Center, what's the process for joining as a member or a volunteer?
So we don't have a membership within Mary Center. In regards to volunteering, what we have found in the past is we look at, as opposed to volunteering, we want people to get connected to people. And sometimes volunteers come and they spend, a short period of time doing things, and that's wonderful and great. What we wanted to do was look at how can we move it past volunteering and develop connections and relationships for the people that we support. So we wanted to build friendships, and that's what we focus on the most, is helping them build friendships. So whether we're introducing them to new people, it's about building a relationship and them being able to go off and do things in the community and have a friend as opposed to a volunteer.
I love that. Almost like a big brother or big sister.
Very similar to that, yes. Yeah.
I love that.
Mhm.
And that's so important to share that camaraderie, to have that connection. It it truly means a lot.
It is, and we need to help take away that social isolation that people may feel, and making those connections and having friends. It's a wonderful thing.
For sure. Now, what would you say is the one thing that everyone needs to know about Mary Center?
What people need to know about Mary Center is our focus is on helping people build a good life. And that's what we want. It's not what we want, it's what they want. And when they come to us, anyone who comes to us, that's the question we're going to ask them. What's a good life going to look like for you? And how can we help you get there? So that's what I want people to take away from Mary Center, is that we want to help people build a good life.
That's perfect. Absolutely perfect. And if listeners are looking for more information, how can they reach out to you?
They can go to our website and look at our information, and they certainly can definitely call into Mary Center. And if they're looking for supports and services, we do have an intake department. And when the phone is answered, they will be directed to the intake department and we have an intake worker who will get back to them and discuss the programs and find out what it is that they're looking for. But definitely through our website, through our social media, and by telephone call, because it's always nice to talk to a person.
Oh, perfect. Okay. And by any chance, is there currently a wait list for housing at the Mary Center?
Uh, there is not a wait list for housing, just simply because our programs that we have for housing go through the Developmental Services Ontario. So as soon as we get a vacancy, it goes through the DSO, and that's how our housing gets filled. But we don't carry a wait list. But
Okay.
for our respite at-home respite program, there's usually not a wait list for that. So when people come and apply and we're able to meet their needs, they can access the service immediately.
That's perfect. Okay, well, Denise, we are out of time.
Oh,
Thank you so much. That was amazing.
thank you very much for reaching out to us and allowing us to share what we do here at Mary Center, and hopefully people will reach out to us. And again, thank you, and thank you for all the work that you do at Voices for Ability.
Oh, thank you. Well, friends, this concludes another Community Partners interview. Let's care, let's share, because we've all been there. I'm your host, Nafisah Anif, signing off until next time.